Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Exploring Thoughts, where every week we take a thought provoking topic and explore it. We're your hosts, Susie.
And Melly, and let's just jump right in. So, as you know, every episode we start with the definition, and this week we're talking about intrusive
Yeah.
thoughts. Yeah. So, naturally, I looked up the definition, and there was not one in the dictionary. So, what I did was I found it on the OCD and Anxiety Center that gives a meaning. Intrusive thoughts are unwanted thoughts, images, impulses, or urges that can occur spontaneously or that can be cued by external/internal stimuli. Typically, these thoughts are distressing, hence intrusive, and tend to reoccur.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, I understand this and I get that, but that's not at all, the kind of. Sometimes, I think sometimes intrusive thoughts can be funny. Like,
yeah. Yeah. So
I
I,
don't.
I, I looked that up because I was very concerned on all the research I was doing because
Wonder
I
what to
have a lot of
find it.
intrusive thoughts, and most of them are like weird and
Yeah,
they're
very
not so like
strange.
negative or.
Sometimes I get the negative
Me too,
ones.
but
I
I'm
think
saying
everyone
most
has
of the
walked into
time.
a room and looked around and said, "I could kill all these people right now."
Oh my god,
And then
that's violent. I meant negative, like sad, like.
yeah, you
But
want to
yeah,
throw yourself in front of a train sometimes if you see it passing. I get it.
so miss, I'm gonna throw myself on a train. Types of intrusive thoughts. All right,
Okay.
these are the four major ones that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the first one is sexual thoughts.
Yes.
All right, the second one is violent thoughts, dark or violent,
Yes.
negative thoughts, and other types of intrusive thoughts, which include bizarre, weird, paranoid, or junk thoughts.
Junk thought. That's funny because
Funny.
it is because one of the things I was reading when I was also reading about the different kinds, but the different triggers
Hmm.
for intrusive thoughts, one of them was literally your brain misfiring,
Mm.
and it you end up having a thought that it's just irrelevant. It's junk. It's like nothing, and so
Yeah,
it's funny that
that
they
it's
they call
just,
it junk thoughts because
yeah,
I was like, damn, that's what all that useless shit that is in my mind is the
it's
junk
just
thought.
fucking junk.
I need a cleanup, a disc cleanup for y'all millennials.
So apparently, it's very common to have an intrusive thought every once in a while. In
Mhm.
fact, they did a little like study, whatever, in 2014 that about 94% of all participants had at least one intrusive thought within a 3-month uh, period.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would.
I would definitely push that number way up for me. One in
Way
every
up.
3 months. Yeah, I feel like that's way up there for me. But everybody does have intrusive thoughts. So if you've ever had one and you feel weird about having it, you probably don't, because a lot
Yeah,
of people
it
have it.
has it. I have something here. It says, so next time you find yourself face to face with an intrusive thought, just remember you're not alone, and there's usually a perfectly logical explanation for why your brain decided to take a detour into Weirdsville. It's true. It apparently, is triggered a lot by stress and, anxiety, but it also can be triggered by people who have really creative minds.
Yeah.
Like, of course, your thought process is gonna look a lot different than someone who doesn't have that kind of creativity, and
Hmm.
sometimes you end up in weird shit
Yeah.
because your brain has the capacity to go there.
Yeah.
The further I think the larger or the bigger your creativity is or the more creative you are, the more likely you're to have these intrusive
Weird
thoughts, the
thoughts.
weird ones
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I kept reading all those practically like very negative things about intrusive thoughts, instead of like kind of like funny, harmless type of things, I
Mhm.
saw a lot of people like having worries on intrusive thoughts.
Mm.
So I looked up, is there anything that we do or that we lack of that makes them worse? So, like, what makes intrusive thoughts worse? Is there anything that we can make them? Yeah.
Mhm.
Apparently, research suggests that lack of sleep,
Mm.
obviously stress, and anxiety can increase the frequency of intrusive thoughts. However, for a lot of people, they appear spontaneously. And they give a little example that I think is really funny. It says someone might be holding a baby and suddenly imagining dropping them. As a mom, I can 1000% agree with that
True.
because if we're gonna go into like intrusive images, because not only do I have like
The
the
thoughts,
thoughts
you
of
can
like
see it
I can
visually.
see it, and there are some images, and specifically those images are negative,
Mhm.
leading to my kids. Like when Leo or even Danny is like standing on top of the couch,
And you just see
or
them
I
fall.
can see them
Yeah,
fall.
that's a thing
I can
too.
see their arm breaking. I can
You're like,
see
"Oh,
the fork
stop, because
going
I
through
can
the
just see
goddamn
this
fucking
happening
eyeball.
right now, and I don't want that to happen. So get down.
And then I'm angry because 'cause they're not listening because I keep picturing them literally
A
stabbing
broken
their
fucking arm
eyeball.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
so,
that.
that's crazy. I mean, intrusive thoughts, intrusive images, whatever you wanna call them, they can be very real,
Yeah.
right? So then I was looking into how can you tell the difference between intrusive thought and a real thought,
Mm.
okay?
Blurred lines.
So it says intrusive thoughts are easy to identify. If they pop up over and over and over again, especially if you don't want them to, they're intrusive.
Intrusive. The very definition of intrusive.
Yep. Highly specific thoughts. It says these thoughts can come at a random or a response to a specific situation.
Maybe that's what we should have looked up. The definition of intrusive
Yeah, do it.
versus
Let's
thought.
hear it.
Okay, so intrusive, causing disruption or annoyance through being unwelcome or uninvited.
I like that.
Yeah, that's
Read it one more time.
okay. For the people in the back, she
For the
said.
people back, listen.
Causing disruption or annoyance through being unwelcome or uninvited.
Causing annoyance.
Yeah,
That's
being
my
uninvited
a completely
for me.
uninvited annoyance. uh,
Because
Shit.
the whole idea of the intrusive thoughts being triggered heavily by anxiety, stress, depression, all of those things, we live with those things. So we
Yeah,
know because a lot of the time minds are not negative in the violent aspect, but negative as in like they didn't mean that,
yeah,
or that's that's not true.
yeah,
Just things that you're anyways. And then they just keep happening. They're unwelcome and uninvited and they don't stop.
yeah.
Intrusive thoughts.
That's where you get the intrusive thoughts, right?
Sometimes though, sometimes they're funny and I
You're gonna give me some?
yeah.
Yes, give me some
All right,
examples.
so I'm gonna give a personal example
Do it
because I smack Susie all the time.
all the time.
I abuse her in the
She
best
does
way, like, and they're
in the
not hard. I
best way.
just go like that, and I try really hard not to do it while we're filming, but since we're
Yeah, because she
doing
doesn't want the
intrusive
world to know that she
thoughts,
beats me up.
since we're doing intrusive thoughts, I have vowed from this moment on to
She got that last quickie in, bro. You
no, 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 no. I'm not stopping. I'm gonna honor my intrusive thoughts today.
Oh shit! How do you move to the side?
I'm gonna smack Susie every time I have the thought. It'll be like a real life experiment.
That's a great
It's a
experiment.
behavioral experiment. I'm
All
not
right,
gonna
so we're gonna start
lie.
counting. We're at what, three?
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we're at three. Put a number up there. We're gonna start counting. It's three,
So anytime I
four,
get the thought, I'm gonna smack Susie. And we'll
bro.
see how many intrusive and I'm not gonna do it when I don't feel it. Like I could be smacking her right now, but I'm not getting that triggered like do it.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk about smacking, intrusive smacking,
Yeah.
I'll smack her tits. I'll smack a lot of my friends' tits, and I'll smack my man's butt. Like Lewis will walk by, and I see the butt, and I'm like, schmuck. And it is a very intrusive thing. And I sometimes I can like feel my body going for it before I even like. fully decided that I was gonna smack it. So I do understand that. Oh my god.
You said smack it.
Smack it. Sick.
It triggered. It was like,
Do it. Anyways. So what do you think the most uncommon type of intrusive thought is?
a pleasant one.
All right. Realistically.
No, I'm serious.
Okay, no.
Oh, I don't know, because I can't really find what is. Pose the question again. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding.
What do you think the most common type of intrusive thought?
The most common.
Most common.
Oh, I
Mhm,
thought
looking
you
at it.
said most
Oh
uncommon.
no, most common.
Okay, that sounds like an unpleasant one or a
I mean a
pleasant one. All
pleasant
right,
one. No, most
most
common.
common. Probably jumping in front of something.
Jumping in front of something.
Yeah, because I. Yeah.
All right. So when I looked it up, I was like, I literally put what is the most common type of intrusive thought? Doubts.
Really?
Doubts are one of the most common type of intrusive thoughts. The doubts can be about big or small aspects of your life. And they give an example. It says intrusive thoughts might cause you to question your relationship or sexual orientation. Why'd they put it on
So,
there like that?
oh, all right. So, what then makes the line? What is the line between a doubt and an insecurity? Like, are they both the same thing? And does that mean that insecurities are intrusive thought?
That's a good one. I mean, if we're gonna talk about like, oh, yeah. So when I looked up the different types of intrusive thoughts, there was
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of information that I just kind of skipped on. When you look up negative thoughts and the definition or the explanation, it says sometimes when things don't work out as planned, you might think of yourself as a loser or feel like you're not good enough. These thoughts should fade as your situation changes. But if they become overwhelming, you have depression or anxiety, blah, blah, blah. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say is that I feel like negative thoughts might very clearly be
Intrusive
intrusive
thoughts.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Insecurity, which leads into negative type thinking.
Yeah.
Am
Wow.
I not good enough? Am I whatever?
See, that's the whole thing. I love the very like definition of this podcast and what we do here because I had a very, I guess, naive
Me too.
view on intrusive
Me too.
thoughts. I saw a lot. I know intrusive thoughts are heavy in meme culture. You
Mhm.
know, like I saw one just the other day. It was like me walking over a bridge, me to myself, throw your phone in the water. And it's like, what? Do it.
What?
And tucks phone in pocket and walks away fast. You know, that kind of intrusive thinking. And yes, I've had my own intrusive thoughts like I was talking about earlier. I just automatically assumed that came with being the creative type,
Yeah,
and the what is it? Is it the left or right side brain? Creative?
that left side.
Left side brain? Just being a left side person, you know?
Mhm.
But I gotta be honest, doing the research for this, hearing this, talking about things, it's a very much a perspective shift. And yeah, I mean, I thought this episode, I knew this episode was gonna be fun because of who we were, but also very knowledgeable now that I'm finding.
Wait, see, I had to look it up
Just
to
in case.
to 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 make double check. No, right brain. Right brain is the
Thank you.
imaginative, the memory, the creative, the music, the emotion, the instinct, the art.
Yeah.
The left brain is the order, the rational, the objective, the symbol.
I wonder if the intrusive thoughts are those two parts fighting each other.
You mean your left and your right
Hmm.
brain? I think we're always fighting against our left and our right brain. And I feel like that's why we get called right brained or left brain or whatever the fuck the situation is because we tend to lead with a certain
With that
side
side, yeah.
because we are more dominant on that specific
Hmm.
side. That doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have the other side or it's
Yeah, of
not
course.
there.
It's just not dominant.
It's not dominant. So I do think we're constantly fighting with the other one, but the one we're dominant wins,
Yeah.
you know?
We right side bitches.
We right side pigeons. Sorry.
All right, so what if you feel like sharing, what is your most common intrusive thought?
Ooh. Are we talking about negative? Are we talking about funny?
Anything.
Are
I
we
think
talking
I would
about
say the most common, the one that happens for you the most often.
they're usually negative actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like maybe I don't know, something negative. regarding my relationship or
Mm,
like Lewis, whatever, not gonna get into deep,
yeah.
but something like that. Or about myself, like I'm not doing enough, you
Yeah.
know, like
Okay.
like a constant like
Voice
you dumb bitch,
saying stop. You stupid
like
hoe.
stupid hoe, yeah.
Yeah.
If we're gonna get into like slightly less, I feel like it's the kids getting hurt, something bad happening. I'm always like thinking, oh my God, this is gonna happen.
We gotta kill them ants, bro. Those automatic negative thoughts.
I was like, ants.
Yeah.
I do have an ant problem. So I was like, oh.
Smart. No.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. I feel like it happens a lot and we might have a mental problem.
Yeah.
That's
We
what it says
might.
on all the things. And it's like if they're continuous and repetitive, you might need to have to talk to a mental health
Yeah, I
professional.
know. I
I
never
agree.
got there with my therapist. My therapist was still unpacking my divorce.
I'm
Like,
going to layers, guys.
yeah, man. We just reached the surface of the divorce and trauma. So and that was it. I ran out of that shit. So I'm like
Life.
running around with my fucking chest open from surgery. It's just spilling out.
No, this is what happens when you don't have life insurance. I mean, when you don't have life insurance.
She gonna kill me, bruh. She gonna say she took out a life insurance policy on me, y'all.
Oh,
You
Melly
heard it
Polly.
here first.
Melly Polly for $1 million, please.
Life is only worth a million.
What's a lot of money? What you want me to
Bitch,
say? A
that ain't
quadrillion?
shit. No. $1 million
Infinity.
ain't shit now.
I want endless. Yeah, you know what? She's so fucking right. Anyways,
Oh.
so we before we started getting crazy about it, you were mentioning that we need to stop, that we need to
Yeah, we
find a
need to
way
kill
to.
those
So,
negative thoughts. Yeah.
what you can do. Intrusive thought comes in. Stop. Stop. Recognize and label them for what they are. Intrusive thoughts you can't control.
Mm,
They have no control, so let them go. All right. Just let them linger. Instead of trying to push them, let them be, let them go.
mm.
Don't focus too much about them. Don't don't let them affect you too much. Here, listen. Bye.
That's a big part of meditation. Is acknowledging the thought when it pops up and letting it go so
I
that
like
way you
that.
can continue your meditation.
I love how you put
Because
your
you're
little meditation in there. Hey, meditation, yeah, intrusive thought.
saying, guys.
Next one is accept that they will pass eventually, unless you have a real problem, and then you should probably
Speak.
talk to a health
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
Give yourself some time for them to fade away.
Hmm.
Prepare yourself for unwanted thoughts to come back. Continue to do whatever you were doing when the intrusive thoughts flooded your head. I feel like that one's important. Keep keep
Keep
going.
going.
Don't let that intrusive thought just stop you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's something that I still struggle with because I'm finding myself like getting on the defensive hearing the last three.
Yeah.
Like,
The last three. Give yourself time for them to fade away. Prepare yourself for unwanted thoughts to come back. Continue to do whatever you were doing when the intrusive thoughts flooded your head. I feel
yeah.
like that's because you're a perfectionist. I feel like that comes from like if they're gone, I don't want them to come back. I don't want to expect more to come because
yeah.
if I can get through it, I don't want to have to go through it
Yeah, because
again.
I struggle with control. If I should be able to control my thoughts at the
Exactly.
very least.
No,
Yeah,
number
I
one, you
definitely
can't.
I struggle with it. I know it.
Okay, so these are the things that we shouldn't do.
All right, tell us, Doctor Sudi.
I'm here. Act or engage with these random repetitive thoughts. Don't act with them. Don't engage with them. Don't fucking do what they're telling you to do. You're on top of the building and that shit's
Don't
telling you,
jump,
I wonder what it would feel like to jump.
dude. Those
So
are my
many
kinds of
times.
thoughts,
Yeah,
man.
scary, especially
Yeah,
when you're hiking. Very scary. Try to question why you're having them in the first place, which, sounds realistic, but am I really
I
going to do
don't.
that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah. I that's a bad idea. Don't do that
maybe don't do that.
because then you start thinking, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, exactly. Don't look for meaning behind them. There usually isn't. You can't really control them. They just come, you know? Don't suppress them. If you do this, you may fixate more on them,
Yeah.
meaning don't ignore them, don't push them down,
Don't
don't hide them, don't act up on them either.
don't do
Intrusive
that.
thoughts, y'all.
Yeah. They're scary because they're so real and they're so often and you don't see them happening
Yeah.
for other people, That's something that's happening internally and you don't know how
Yes.
bad
And nobody really
someone's
knows.
stressing or dealing with that?
Hmm.
And it's just if we think about it for ourselves and how much we hate it for ourselves, imagine how much, other people hate it for themselves too and the problems that it brings for them.
Yep.
And it's a real like issue.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things are saying to just wait for it to go away. Maybe eventually if it doesn't go away, you have to address something, and then that's even scarier. And then it gets worse until it gets better. And then, maybe you're all healed up and then a couple years later something triggers and then you're back where you started again because that's just your brain.
Hmm.
It's terrible.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. It's a lot less fun than when I first said, "Hey,
Let's
when
talk
let's
about
let's talk
intrusive
about intrusive
thoughts.
thoughts."
It's true though. I feel like clearly there are some signs that we should be watching out if you
Mhm.
really do need some help. Um, I don't know. That sucks.
Yeah, I've got a question for you.
What? What?
If you can remember, when or at what age did you first have your first intrusive thought?
I feel like I've always had intrusive thoughts. I feel
Yeah.
like that's why I was such a bad kid. I'm serious.
You're really
Yeah,
you just acted on them.
I acted on them. I
Mm.
remember throwing my phone a lot. I remember jumping in the pool to try and drown myself a lot.
Mm.
Like, and it wasn't. I mean, I'm sure it was a combination of being, depressed and going through shit,
Yeah.
trauma, tarara, but it also had to do with just these thoughts and me thinking I have to do it instead
Mm.
of just thinking it and letting it go as an adult.
You're like, I thought it, so now I have to do it.
I thought it, so it must be true, you know?
Mm.
Or like thinking bad about myself with others and causing situations because of it. Like being young, I remember being in like school and thinking, oh, this person doesn't like me because of this and this. And I would full on believe it instead of just letting it
Mm.
go.
Yeah.
And then kind of, building this like bad energy and hate and, over something that was not true at all. And
Product of stress.
yeah, but even when you're so little, that's so wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I have had intrusive thoughts for a very long time. Feel like that's why I did very stupid ass shit
Mm.
because I couldn't control them and they would just kind of pop up
Your
and I
impulses.
was very impulsive and the
Mm.
intrusive thoughts were very impulsive.
I wonder if, well, I mean, I guess people. Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if there's like a direct connection between impulsivity and
And
intrusive
intrusive,
thoughts, but
I
I
would
wouldn't
have
doubt
to.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't really have intrusive thoughts until my dad died.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't remember having them as a kid. I mean, I know sometimes you'd be like, "Ooh, grab,"
Touch.
or touch, but that
Yeah.
comes with the general nature of being a child. I don't think I had thoughts that made me do that,
Mm.
but I did start realizing that I'd have these weird thoughts, after. But then again, there goes my stressor. I had a pretty good life until I turned,
Yep.
9,
Yep.
aside from seeing my dad struggle with his sickness.
Hmm.
Excuse me. But I my life was great. My parents didn't fight around me, I was okay in school. We were young, so,
Yeah.
before and that's it.
Mm.
And then my dad passed and I remember I it was at school. I remember it. Like I wondered what would happen if I slammed my hand in the desk because
Hmm.
the open close
Yeah.
ones. Like what would happen if I did it? Like if my fingers would break. And I was like,
What the fuck?
yeah. And then I
Yeah.
just carried about my day.
Uh huh.
I
Yeah.
I was scared, but I just ignored it and went along because I'd never had a thought like that before.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
It's also wild to think that even in the research, it said that 94% of people So that means that there is a 6% out there that
Don't
just
know
simply
what
does
an
not
intrusive
have
thought is.
intrusive thoughts. And it makes me wonder, how does that feel? If you are a person listening right now and you have never had an intrusive thought, or you believe you have never had an intrusive thought, let us know.
Please contact us. I'm sitting here looking right now for
Like,
people that
who
can.
who doesn't have
Who
intrusive
doesn't have
thoughts?
intrusive thoughts? Is there an interview? Is there someone that we could listen to? Because that's crazy.
I like that.
Like your brain, Braun.
Brian,
Look at
you're
me.
Brian.
Your brain is functioning at a capacity that only 6% of people in the world are functioning
Mm,
at.
it's wild.
Ge-
It's wild. And there's also some people that don't see images.
What?
Yeah, in their brain.
That oh, in their brain.
Oh, no,
You
not blind people, bitch. I mean people that don't think with images.
Yeah, no, I that's also crazy to me.
I think that's bizarre.
I can't
How
not
do they
picture
how do
something when
they think?
I'm exactly in letters,
Or
in
in
just
just listening and
listening
just
words.
audio.
There are people also who don't know what they sound like, and so you can you hear yourself in your brain, like when you're talking to yourself in your voice?
I don't know if it's me. I don't know, honestly.
What? You don't
You
have
hear you?
you
You hear
don't
me
have your
talking to me?
voice. Yeah, you don't hear your voice narrating yourself inside your brain.
No, I hear I don't know, I've never really thought about it. I'm gonna have to take a moment.
All
I'll
right,
talk
think
to you
do
about it
talk to your close.
right
Everybody, take a
now. Oh
second.
god. Okay, okay.
Take just a few
Okay,
seconds. Close
shush.
your eyes. Say something to yourself in your mind. Did you hear your voice?
I don't know because I don't know if that's what I sound like. I'm almost getting goosebumps.
Some people don't. People don't hear anything at all, and
No, I hear some,
that's wild
but I
to
don't know if
me.
it's me or not.
Listen to the podcast
Who's
later.
narrating my
Literally crying because that is wild. Oh man,
Ooh, okay.
all these things to do with brain. That's your brain is so.
Thoughts on brain shall be
It's
definitely
on
a
there. It's definitely
podcast.
on the list of things to do because there's so much we could talk about in that episode.
Oh my god, dude, I'm literally crying. That was wild. Please stop. I'm gonna have to get back on y'all.
Have you ever had an academic intrusive thought?
Academic?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. All right. So I
Do
was
you mean
thinking
like
about
thinking of math? Like all of a sudden you're thinking about 5 + 5 = 10?
no,
Because I have done that.
no, that's usually triggered by something, seeing a number or something, and you're like, ah. All right. But I would, I'm likening it to like a eureka moment, right?
Okay.
Like, let's say there's this intense math problem that's never been solved before, and you're eating your fucking Cheerios for breakfast, and all of a sudden, six. Like, you're like, it, the answer is six. Like, is
Repeat that. What?
is that considered an intrusive thought? Like, is it an like academic intrusive thought? Like, if you're just carrying on doing what you're doing,
Huh?
and there's this math problem that you know of that you've seen the equation for,
Before.
yeah, you've seen it
That you're not
before,
looking at right now.
but you're not looking at it,
Yeah, like the
and you're
5
just
plus
doing,
5 = 10.
and then boom, like it's just
Maybe.
the answer
I
is
don't
there.
know. Honestly, that's a weird one.
That's what I'm saying. That's a eureka moment. Are eureka moments intrusive thoughts, or are they just a
Eureka moments. Maybe your brain just got it. Is that an intrusive thought? Maybe not because it's
no? Because
it's
it's
like
got a
it's
purpose
yes, it's trying to solve something.
and it's not unwanted.
Yeah.
That was foolish. Sorry.
I like that though.
Mhm. I guess eureka moments are very much wanted. So
Eureka. Oh like. So, close your eyes. We're gonna do a
okay.
little experiment. I'm
Oh,
gonna say a word, you're gonna say the word that comes up to you. comes
Oh,
next. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
All right, let's go. Actually, no, let's try that other one. Where it's like one, two, three, you say a word, and then we have to say a common thing about it. Anyways, whatever. We're gonna do both. So first one, I'm gonna say a word. You tell me the word that comes to mind.
Okay.
Beach.
Hark. Hark. Hark.
We're gonna try it again. Ready?
It's gonna say harlot.
I know. Come on. Did you say that was so good. Oh my god.
Right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Uh, car.
Rocket.
She said rocket. Okay, you know what? You do it. Dying. This is fantastic. I love it.
The wrong answer.
No, this is the way you were so happy about it.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Bag.
Groceries.
Yeah, you took too
I
long.
did.
You thought
And
about
I'm
it.
still laughing.
Pressure.
Oh my. Boom. I like that one. Pressure boom. I'm crying. I wish I could zoom up. I think I can. Oh god, that's hilarious. All right, we're doing it again. Ready?
Okay.
Computer.
Rock. No. You broke me.
She was gonna say rocket. She was gonna say rocket. I love it.
Okay.
It's so
Okay,
funny.
wait. Go again. I promise.
She said go again.
Do it now.
Okay. Oh.
Mm.
Blue.
Net.
Lasagna.
Crazy.
I love it. Your turn. You do it.
TV.
It shows. Fuck. It takes my brain a really long time. Okay, I need to like allow it to just intrude. Okay.
Okay. Glasses.
Boom.
Hey, man.
Shit in my hand.
Mm.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Really like this episode.
But it's funny because this whole time we're talking about, intrusive thoughts and their heavy nature, but this was a nice little fun because I mean, hey, when you're put on the spot and you're told to say whatever comes out of your mouth,
It's hard.
that I would imagine that thought is an intrusive thought because you're not technically wanting to say that thing.
It's just
It just comes out.
yes, like the boom and the rocket.
Hard.
The heart. All right, let's do one more. So I saw this TikTok of this podcasters. I can't remember their name. I'm so sorry. But they're really cool. Rude. And
What's the podcast name?
I don't know. That's what I just said. I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
thought you said you don't remember their name.
I don't know. I
Their
don't know. I don't
name.
know. So they do this thing where she goes one, two, three, and they both say a word. Then they say one, two, three again, and they find a word that's common that has a commonator.
Okay.
And then they
Try
do
and
it
eventually get to the same
same word. Have
word.
you seen it?
I think so.
Okay, so let's try.
Oh.
All right. So I'm gonna say one, two, three. Whatever word comes to mind, we'll find a common in it.
Okay.
Okay. One, two, three. Bag.
Crystal.
Crystal and bag. Something common within crystal and bag.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Huh?
One, two, three.
Fabric.
Shopping. Okay, shopping and fabric.
Yeah.
All right. Ready? One, two, three. Dress.
Fabric. Not what I meant to say. I meant to say Jones fabric. The fabric came out. What did you say?
Dress.
Dress.
Okay, we're gonna try one more time. Let's start it
Okay.
from the beginning. Your turn.
Okay. One, two, three.
Beach.
Plants.
Okay.
Okay.
Something in common between beach and plants.
Okay.
Okay. One,
One, two,
two, three.
three.
Water.
Seaweed.
Okay.
Okay.
Something in common between seaweed and water.
Okay. One,
Two,
two,
three.
three.
Ocean.
Fish.
Okay.
Sea and ocean are the
Oh.
All right.
What?
It's
All
all
right.
right.
So
So,
between ocean and sea.
okay.
One, two, three.
Boat.
I couldn't think of one. I we really suck at this. We're gonna have to keep practicing. All right.
Mhm.
Well, anything else about intrusive thoughts? That was a great episode. I've
Yeah,
never
I
laughed
had.
so much.
Yeah, I learned something. I think we also had some fun too.
We
Um,
also had some sad moments because we realized that if they're very repetitive and they won't allow you to continue on, you should look for some help and
talk to somebody.
don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And we got this, y'all.
I just read something funny.
Oh God, I'm all laughed out.
All right. It's a funny, intrusive thought to end our episode with. Y'all ever just get like a really random intrusive thought? I was thirsty and I looked over at the lotion I've been using for my dry skin, and my brain was like, drink it.
Basically,
What happens to me all the time?
you want to drink lotions?
No, well, well, it's not
This
lotion.
one time.
It's mainly the cleaners, the spray cleaners,
Oh my God, do
because they
not.
smell so good, and I'm just like, I wonder,
What it tastes like.
what it would taste
That happens
like.
to me with because I have kids, with the Play-Doh and the markers that smell good.
We
Anything that
also
smells
eat what they
yummy,
taste like. Play-Doh is salty.
yes, I've eaten and like kind of like
Everyone's given into
you put
that
it in your
intrusive
mouth and it
thought,
almost turns in like slime because
and
it's
you're just
like,
like, what? Because it's
yeah,
clay, pretty much. You're just like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah, pretty
All
much.
right. Well, thank you for joining us today on our episode of Intrusive Thoughts.
Clearly, we have a lot of them, and we hope you learned something and enjoyed it because we definitely did.
Yeah, it's always fun getting together to do this with you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for being here because we do really love what we do.
Yes, so please go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. We'll be putting out episodes every other Thursday. So this Thursday will be Intrusive Thoughts. Next week will be a break. Week after that, we'll be talking about da-da-da-da, imagination. Like when the SpongeBob.
Imagination.
SpongeBob.
I love that. Another intrusive thought. So I think intrusive thoughts and imagination do have something in common, and I kind of like it. So I'm
They're
excited
kind
for
of on
next
both
week.
of the both. Well, either that, it's a happy middle, or like polar opposites in
Yeah,
a sense. We know that intrusive thoughts was a really heavy subject now,
yeah.
and we just want to bring a little more lightheartedness to it, and talk about something where your limitations are endless.
I'm excited. I hope you
Yeah.
guys are too. Once again, thank you guys for being here. We love y'all, and
Remember to unleash your curiosity and always explore your thoughts.
bye.
Bye.